Hi, my name's Alex Stupak, and we're at Empeon Al Pastor in the East Village, and today we are going to deep fry a hot dog. Empeon Al Pastor is a taqueria, and we have all sorts of different types of tacos, but we have a lot of different bar snacks as well. And the idea of it and how we wanted to approach our bar snacks is to have that sort of Mexican-American mashup. So we started looking at the corn dog, definitely a proper American bar snack. And a corn dog has corn, and good news is that we're in a taqueria, so we have a lot of corn. But our corn doesn't come in the form of cornmeal. It comes in the form of fresh corn masa, which we make ourselves and use for all of our tortillas. So really, the twist here is that we're using a quintessential ingredient in Mexican cooking to enrobe or make the batter for the most American food that we could think of, the hot dog. Let's get started. So as you can see, the corn dough itself is rather thick. It's like Play-Doh, and we need to make this into a batter. So we're going to dilute it. We're going to take some milk and a couple of eggs, and we're going to get these going in a blender. So what we're going to do is we're going to add bits of our corn masa to start to thin it out. Where do you get corn masa? If you don't have the good fortune of living next to a tortilla factory, you can make it at home. You're going to go to the grocery store and get something called Masa. There's different brands of it, or Masa Harina. Bob's Red Mill makes a brand of it. There's different ones. And basically you're going to take that nixtamal flour and add some water to it. There's a ratio in the back. It's like 2 or 1 or something like that, but you can make the dough very simply like that. Once you have all the masa in there, you're going to turn the blender off. You're going to give it a stir. You can see it's starting to form the texture of, say, like a thin pancake batter. It's kind of what you're looking for, but we're just going to blend this one more time for good measure to make sure all those lumps of corn have been worked in. So we're just going to tip this out. To give this some flavor, we're going to add a little bit of salt. So it rises, we're going to add a little bit of baking powder. And just to give it a little bit of structure and have it stick to the hot dog, we're going to add a little bit of flour. So we're just going to mix this together. We are mixing this batter pretty gently, and if you notice, we didn't put the flour in the blender with the corn, because then we would develop a lot of gluten and you'd have a tough batter as opposed to something nice and light and crispy. The next thing we need to do is impale a hot dog. So these are kosher beef franks. We're going to pierce this, and we're just going to, as best we can, sort of dip it and roll it in the batter. Don't be super concerned about having a really thin veil of batter. To me, the corn dog batter is as much part of the experience as the hot dog itself. And as you can see, the batter is kind of quite thick now that you have the flour in it. So just taking it out, the right amount is sort of going to cling to it. So we're going to fry this now. If you don't have a fryer at home, like this, which you definitely don't, you can use a cast iron pot just filled with some vegetable oil. I like canola oil because it has a high smoke point, but you can use any sort of frying oil that you like. Corn oil is fine. And you're going to want the temperature at 350 degrees roughly. So if you have a candy thermometer or something like that, but the good news is that even if you don't, you can add a little batter to the oil, and so long as you see it sizzling, you're in that sweet spot. Because really, I mean, the hot dog is already cooked, so all you're really trying to do here is get it golden brown and hot on the inside. It doesn't take long at all, probably about 3 minutes. This hot dog's been in there for about 3 minutes now. It is golden brown and delicious, just like I promised. And this is a bar snack, and we're in a bar, so we're not going to make this too fancy. It's going on a paper plate. We're going to season it with a little bit of chili salt. Definitely need a lime wedge on the side. And lastly, a corn dog or any hot dog in my mind needs mustard, right? So we made a special mustard for this corn dog. So this mustard, you can see this. We have this repurposed yellow mustard bottle. We're going to squeeze some mustard out, but it's kind of an alarming color. It's almost jet black. And the reason for that is this mustard is flavored with wheat lacoche. If you don't know what that is, wheat lacoche is a mushroom that actually grows on corn. It's considered a delicacy in Mexico. It has a beautiful umami flavor, this awesome black color, which I love. And I love the surprise of it because, you know, I think this in America kind of symbolizes yellow mustard, and when something like that comes out of it, it just adds a little bit more specialness to the snack. There you have it, folks. We're going to squeeze some lime on it. You have a corn dog at Empeño al Pastor. Cheers.